I had a story yesterday. It was in the Washington Post, and the NFL Players Association got together with writers, reporters, editors from the Washington Post talking about the possibility of an 18-game schedule. And I thought, okay, this is interesting that it comes out. And a lot of times a story comes out so both sides can kind of gather information here. How is the reaction going to be? What's the reaction going to be? What are the players going to say? Owners, GMs, coaches, everybody will have an opinion because now you can bring that up. You're going to have columns that are written on this. How can you talk about player safety and then you want to add an 18-game schedule? I agree. Don't tell me about player safety if you want to add another game here. But it's going to happen eventually. The question is, how do you fast track this? How do you expedite this? Go back to the college football playoffs. Remember that mess when I had the audacity to say, look, they're gonna move this up a couple of years. Oh, they got a contract. Yeah, they have a lottery ticket as well. They broke the contract. As I reported, they were going to break the contract because they realized how much money would be made if you had a 12-team playoff. All of a sudden, you start to see numbers. Then all of a sudden, you go, well, how do we have an addendum to that contract? How do we break that contract? Are we going to be waiting until 2030 when the collective bargaining agreement is up? I don't think so. But I did reach out to two sources this morning, and they basically said the same thing. I'll paraphrase some of the things that I got, and it had to do with posturing. A lot of posturing going on. Can't go to 18 until, well, they ask the players what they want. They can ask for early negotiations. Now, the players, from what I'm told, it would have to be a massive, massive offer. And from what I'm told, players generally don't like the idea, although I don't know if I believe in that, because if you can add another paycheck here, the clock is ticking on how long your career is. But posturing is the word that I got from two sources on this, that they don't expect anything serious in terms of a discussion for a while. But it came out yesterday. We have more than a month before the season starts. Camp is opened up, so now you have a topic. Now you can ask a question. Hey, you want to go to Jets camp? You don't want to ask about Aaron Rodgers' Egyptian vacation? You can ask him about an 18-game schedule. Or the San Francisco 49ers, instead of asking about Brandon Ayuk, you're going to ask about, what about an 18-game schedule? Who's the player rep for these teams? And asking them what they think. It's going to happen. The question is, does it happen before the collective bargaining agreement expires in 2030? I would say they'll probably expedite this, and that they'll have. Now, I asked, okay, do you have to break a contract? They said you can have an addendum to a contract, but this is a story that's there. We're not going to be surprised that they go to 18. When we got to 17, I was told, we're going to 18. The question is when we're going to 18. It's not a question of if, but when. It's just like the college football playoffs. 4 teams. Hey, what if we had 12? What if we actually used the bowl games, that the bowl games would actually mean more? How about this, where you would go, the Orange Bowl winner is going to play in the Sugar Bowl. So now we're going to watch the Orange Bowl instead of just, that game, and it doesn't mean anything, and everybody goes away with some nice parting gifts. You got to follow the money here. That's what's going on in college athletics. It's all about the money. And the NFL, they're the standard bearer. It's all about money. Remember, college football was going to 8. And I said, no. They're going to 12. They're going to 12 because they did the math. The NFL Players Association, they've done the math. They know an extra game now. What's that going to mean? What's that going to mean for the networks? Does somebody bid even more? It comes down to the money aspect. What do the players get? What do the players want? And then how many more games are going to be international games? Because when we went to 17, I was told this makes it so much easier to say to an owner, we're going to have that game in another country. We're going to let you have that, whether it's Germany or it's Brazil, you can have your fan base. You can have your game there. And, it's a home away from home game. You're going to be able to set up your merchandise. That's going to be your other city, your other country. And the owners, of course, love that because it's, once again, all about money. Seton, what is the poll question today? Or at least what are we going to go with first hour?
Yeah, we got a couple that we're kicking around. We could start with the NFL adding an 18th game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that's going to be within the next 2 years or post 2 years?
I would say post 2 years.
You think it'll be like 3 or more?
Yes. Well, okay, so it won't be this season, 24. They wouldn't do it in 25, I don't think.
No?
I don't know. I don't know if you could kind of... I don't know the logistics of trying to get an 18-game schedule and how that works out with stadiums and bye weeks and travel. And
do you think it has more to do with bye weeks and travel, or who's going to pay the most to get that one?
Well, it could be that too.
Right.
Because if I'm the NFL, I want to keep it out there and just say, hey, who's interested? Who would like to pony up extra money for a football game or two? Remember when Peacock spent over $100 million for a playoff game? And people said, why would you do that? Oh, you're going to lose viewership. It was a smash hit for Peacock. Smash hit. This is what Amazon, I mean, you're going to have all of these streaming services go, hey, I'll pony up the money there. That's what the NFL wants. Yes, Eden.
Will it be while we're doing this show?
Yes. I would say by 2027. So
2025, 2026. 2027.
Yeah.
Is it the end of 2027 or going into 2027?
Going into 2027. How's that? So we would be here until Christmas Eve of 2027. They would have an 18-game schedule.
So this would be, you're calling it quits going into 2028. It would be just before 2028,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So we would have that 2027 fall
Yes.
of possibly this 18th game.
We would have probably, 15 games, maybe, during that season?
Interesting.
Yeah. Yes, Tom.
So our last Super Bowl week could be President's Week of shows for an unprecedented time of the year. Like third week of February, we could be doing our last Super Bowl week of shows.
No. We'll be off the air.
But if it's I thought it's the 26th season into, and the games are played, the Super Bowl's played in 27.
I'm retiring December 24th of 2027.
Right. So we couldn't do a Super Bowl week shows in 2028, but I thought it was the 2026 season, and we would do Super Bowl week February of 2027.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're still not retired for 10 months yet.
I might retire right now.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Most likely to cause you to retire.
Todd.
Am I doing the math wrong? If it's the 2026 season, the Super Bowl's played in February of 2027.
But it'll be 2027 season.
Oh, I thought it was the 2026 season. I could do it as early as that, possibly.
No, I said 2027. Okay. And I'm retiring into it.
Yeah, then that would not factor into what I'm saying.
2027, 2026, 2028,
2028, President's Weekend. And,
Well, I can't get this done in the next 2 years. We'd have to take at least 3 years for them to...
no, he just asked me. I don't know.
Just trying to do a poll question like I'm supposed
Doesn't
to.
sound very fast-tracked if it's going to take at least 3 years to get this figured out.
It's supposed to be 2030.
Compared to that, it's fast-tracked.
Then it'd be 2031 by the time they enacted this. So that would be a little faster.
Very well.
Carry on.